Today is Wednesday, the 7th day of May in the year 2025. My name is Marquis Arastas, and I serve as president of this council. Public comment for this morning's meeting will be taken in person in this chamber. All right, Councilmember Price.
I am, out of an abundance of caution, I'm recusing myself from item 20 under the advice of City Attorney, and I'm recusing myself from item 24 because my wife's employer has worked with an applicant on this item. So,
all right,
2024.
Thank you, Mr. Price. All right, now item 34, Councilmember Hernandez.
Thank you, Council President. Again, thank you. Good morning, colleagues. As a member of the Transportation Committee, led by our fearless and phenomenal Councilwoman Heather Hutt, I rise in support of this motion, which would authorize the Los Angeles Department of Transportation to implement 15-mile-per-hour speed limits in newly designated school safety zones. This is an urgent and necessary step. Traffic collisions are the leading cause of death for youth ages 2 to 14, and nearly 56% of fatal and serious injury crashes happen within a quarter mile of a school. As we confront budget challenges, we adopt cost-effective speed calming measures, and we can do that. For context, funding for speed humps was cut from $1.9 million in previous years to $715,000 for the current fiscal year, limiting the number of installations to just about 120 citywide. School safety zones, on the other hand, can be designated soon. LADOT has identified 201 schools across the city using a matrix that assigns weight of 55% for safety, 15% for lack of infrastructure, 15% for mode split, and after advocacy from my office, 20% for equity. For equity. Private and public LAUSD schools, 9 of which are in my district, stand to benefit from your vote here today, as many of our other council offices as well. I want to thank my colleagues on the Transportation Committee and Councilwoman Hutt for her leadership, and also for helping move this forward with clarity and care. Colleagues, I urge your support. Let's direct LADOT to move forward and help make our streets safer for our young people in a more cost-effective way with these school safety zones. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Council Member. Let's open the roll on this item, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
15 ayes.
All right, what's next?
And so what all this motion does, but it's really, really important, what this motion does is ask the general manager of the port to come in and report to us. Probably the most knowledgeable person in the United States, possibly the world, on the effects of tariffs on the United States and on the world chain of supplies. And I think it's also important for us to provide that information to our public, because when our constituents, my constituents already see less work. My coffee shops and pizza places and barbershops are already seeing less spending in the harbor area. But it's important for all of us to be able to explain to our constituents why you're not going to be able to buy back to school supplies, why you're not going to have stuff ready for the holidays. And so I think it's also important for us to get to the background of these tariffs. The tariffs have been imposed illegally. There is no statutory or constitutional authority for the tariffs as imposed. They also have been on again, off again, stop and start. They have been amateurish in the way that they've been presented to us, and the reasons given have been internally inconsistent. So we've been lied to somewhere. It's either for creating leverage to create a deal, or it's either for bringing manufacturing back to the United States. Pick one and stick with it, but don't lie to us. And finally, it just harms us. It just harms the United States. It will harm the world economy, and I think it's going to be important for us to have that discussion here, because we owe it to the people we represent. I appreciate all the folks that are leaning in. Attorney General Bonta has filed litigation. The mayor and congressional members will be in my district on Friday holding a press conference. We will continue to supply information to folks, but I think it's vitally important that we spend time talking about this manufactured crisis, amateurishly manufactured to harm people in this region, in this county, in this state, in this country, and doing harm to the entire world. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember McCosker, and thank you for your leadership on this issue. Let's open the roll on this item, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
15 ayes. Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
As indicated on the kiosk, all items and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
All right, starting off with item number, let's see, we have item 39, which is related to lighting up City Hall for Alzheimer's Awareness Month. So what is City Council doing for Alzheimer's? I'm just curious about that. Since you talk a great deal about how you're, doing all these recognition and such, but you're making it seem like to the public that you're doing something about Alzheimer's when you're actually not. You're not doing anything. It would be nice if somebody would actually pay attention to my comment. Okay, we have item 40, installing the name War on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. That's a real metaphor. but this is like a band, I think, actually. But it seems like right now we have better priorities than putting more Walk of Fame stars. Right now we should be focused on repairing the sidewalk, all kinds of stuff. But but just Walk of Fame stars, lots of photo ops for everyone. We have item 41, which is related to updating the LAPD's IT infrastructure. How about instead of updating the LAPD's IT infrastructure, you instead update the IT infrastructure of other city departments that have websites that are often out of date, hard to use, things like that. And instead, you take money from the LAPD to update the IT infrastructure of other city departments' websites. Instead, that seems like a good idea. Okay, we have item 44, which is related to the mayor's really bad job at responding to the fires, and the really bad job in general. Would y'all actually listen? I can barely even hear myself speak with all this noise from all the staffers and council members. We have item 44, which is related, again, to the wildfires. So this recovery effort should be focused on rebuilding communities, getting people back in their homes and things like that. But instead, it's always just focused on the rebuilding for the Olympics and World Cup. But I'm going to talk about that one a little bit more in a minute here. But yeah, it's all about rebuilding for rich people, rebuilding for the Olympics, nothing about rebuilding communities, getting all those communities rebuilt so that people can be back in their homes after these devastating wildfires. Okay, let's move on to general public comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
So I wonder if any of you have any statement, particularly the council president, any of you have any statement about the comments that Trump and Vance made yesterday during a meeting or something like that, where they were joking about deporting visitors to the city for your little show in a few years. So, so we can already see that Trump wants to use the Olympics and the World Cup and all those events that you're holding in the city for him for propaganda for his fascism, for his violence, for his anti-black, anti-trans, anti-immigrant behavior and policies. And you all just seem to be okay with it, or at least you won't speak up about it. You won't even say that, no, we don't believe in joking about deporting visitors to our events or things like that. But you won't say anything. We don't pay attention.
Next speaker.
Hello, I'm Javon Houston, airport worker at LAX and a member of SEIU. I just want to continue. Thank you for your support for the council members that vote yes last December on our ordinance. To continue to vote yes coming forward. We don't need any tweaks, any amendments on this ordinance. These are airport workers' livelihoods. These are airport workers' lives that you're tweaking and amending. We need health care. We need livable wages here in Los Angeles County. Please vote yes on the up and coming vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, City Council members. Just want to say thank you. Yesterday was a very important day for us. As we can see, we're moving forward with this policy. I've been working at the airport for the past 15 years. As you know, living here in LA is a struggle. Most importantly, we're in we can't decide between having our healthcare insurance or paying our rent. That's the reason why this living wage ordinance is very important for us to pass. Next week is gonna be, we're gonna make history. It's gonna be a big decision. And for the leaders that have stand with us boldly, thank you very much. You have put more faith within the working class. And let's get this passed, let's have no amendments, and let's be the platform for the city of Zalages, for the rest of this country, that when you invest in workers, you invest in your city. Thank you very much.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Laura Esquivel y trabajo en el aeropuerto de Los Ángeles.
Hi, good morning. My name is Laura Esquivel, and I work at the LA airport.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Buenos días. ¿En qué puntos quisiera dar su comentario?
Sí, comentario público.
Public comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Un minuto. Adelante.
Quiero agradecer a los miembros del Consejo por escuchar las voces de los trabajadores del aeropuerto.
I would like to thank the council members for listening to the voices from the airport.
Juntos hicimos historia,
Together, we made history,
pero nuestro trabajo aún no ha terminado.
but we haven't finished the work yet.
Les insto que no demoren más y aprueben nuestro sueldo digno.
I urge you to not delay any further and that you approve this ordinance.
La economía necesita crecer y nosotros los trabajadores somos lo que lo podemos hacer.
The economy needs to grow, and that is something that we can do as workers.
Nosotros los trabajadores utilizamos nuestros salarios para la canasta básica.
We as workers use our money for basic living needs,
La comida y la vivienda.
and that would be food and living.
Mejorar la vida de los trabajadores mejorará la economía.
So improving the life of workers would improve the economy as well.
Les pido por favor que no tarden
And so I'm asking you to please not delay,
y aprueben el salario digno.
and please approve for a fair wage and livable wage.
Nosotros ya no podemos seguir con esta angustia del día a día.
We can no longer keep living with this struggle of having to go day by day,
ya que no nos alcanza para cubrir nuestros gastos esenciales.
where we're not able to afford our basic needs and our basic costs.
Por unidad y dignidad,
And also we need unity and dignity.
merecemos una vida mejor. Gracias.
We deserve a better life. Thank you.
Okay, I want to start by asking the council why. Simple question. What has the homeless done to this council? For those of us who is out here homeless, not by our own choice, but by circumstance. I'm among them. I'm not breaking no laws. I'm not causing no problems. I'm out there because of my situation. There's lack of funding, everything. There's a statement out there that says the average person is supposed to receive $133 a month in EBT. I only get 24. The cost of living out there for an average apartment is over $1,200 a month. My income is $1,206. So I'm out there not by choice, but by circumstances. But yet this board passed a law to put me in jail for the simple fact that I'm homeless. Why? Thank you.
General comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Maria. I work at LAX at the United VIP Club. I'm a proud member of SEIU USW. I will continue fighting until we win this fight and we said before the sky won't fall. As tiring it is for me who works at graveyard, I sacrifice my sleep to make my voice be heard each day. I lived in Los Angeles all my life, but I no longer afford to live in a city I call home. Unless you prove to increase living wage, raising the wage, and improve health care for LAX workers who changed my life and the lives for my coworkers who are struggling every day to make ends meet, even though we make LAX function. Thank you.
Number 42 in general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please
Great.
begin with the item. Go ahead.
Good morning. My name's Adam from LA Community Action Network, here today with tenants from the Produce Hotel that is supposed to be taken out of REAP today with your vote. Tenants from the Produce invited us in this past Monday, and we saw the ceiling falling apart from a very visible leak in the common room. We saw unaddressed water damage in the kitchen, roaches in units, fire suppression systems that were out of compliance. We're here with tenants from the Produce today to demand that you push this vote, conduct a full reinspection with tenants alongside and tenant voices included, make inspection and service records public, and enforce Tahoe. What good is a tenant anti-harassment ordinance if it's not being enforced in support of some of our city's most vulnerable and abandoned tenants? If the housing department and others are saying that this building met the compliance requirements from the original 110 violations levied on this building, and yet we still see roaches, water damage, out of compliance, fire suppression systems, we think it might be worth looking at how REAP responds to ongoing issues perhaps not included in the original list of violations. Would you accept this? Would you accept roaches in your home? And further, there are people here for the first time in their lives watching you all not listen during public comment. It's so shameful that folks like Charlie Brooks, who's homeless, who's a member of LA Can, came all the way up here to speak to you, and none of you are fucking listening. At a meeting required by HUD with tenants of the Produce in February, a representative from Hope for an Affordable LA, the new owner of 17 former Skid Row Housing Trust buildings, told tenants that they were applying for a program called a RAD conversion that they would then use to move and upgrade people from the Produce to the Santa Fe lofts because the Produce is in such bad shape. When I asked what would happen if the application with HUD didn't go through, he replied that people would just stay at the Produce. So is the building in such bad shape that people need to move, or isn't it?
Which items would you like to speak to?
I would like to speak on item number 42 and general comment.
Okay, and before you begin, if you'd like to, you can move the microphone if you need to. So
Okay.
go ahead. You have
I'm
1 minute for the
afraid
item and 1 minute for general. Go ahead.
Okay. So my name is Kimberly, and I'm here to represent the Produce tenants. I was a previous apartment manager there, and unfortunately I left because I didn't like the things that was done there. Also, you know, having to live in a unit and pay rent without no heat for years, dealing with roaches and rats, dealing with those issues, dealing with things not being fixed, dealing with dead promises. So I left because of those reasons, and I'm here to support them. I don't see why the rent should go up. They can barely afford to live them now, and them living under the conditions that they're under doesn't make any sense at all. We get to go home. I know I got to go home every day. I didn't have to reside there, but the simple fact was I cared about the individuals that stayed there, even though I didn't live there.
General public comment?
I just think that we should, this is my first time, but, you know, I think we should really, you know, understand that these individuals are actually people as well. If we were in the same position, we definitely wouldn't want to be living the way they are living. Their conditions it's not right. The city would come in and inspect, and I would tell them, hey, we can't pass that. But they'll pass it anyway because they have a rapport. So therefore, things are getting overlooked on purpose, intentionally, which is not right. You know, how would you like your issues to be overlooked at your housing where you stay? Thank you. Have a blessed day.
I've been a tenant at that building for 18 years, and it's terrible now. I've been there through the good, and it's below bad. I had my sink stopped for a week before they fixed it. There's been no heat in the building in over 3.5 years. How are you going to take that out of REAP? Are you kidding? Building's not safe. You might have a towel fall out the floor, out the ceiling on you. That happened to me in the laundry room. They're not fixing anything. I've been trying to get my room painted for 4 years. Still need to paint it. But it's coming out of REAP? I don't think so. Because he has not met the standards that I understand REAP, the conditions of REAP. has, you know, conditions that that's for. They haven't done anything in this building. You think I'm jiving? I got proof right here in my pocket. Here's the record right here. Pictures right here.
General public comment.
Okay, thank you.
I live at the Produce as of 2010. There hasn't been really anybody that has inspected the building or even see what it looks like. We need somebody with honesty and to tell the truth about the building. I've been there a long time and I've seen a lot of things, sir. If you could just please help us get that building together and help us live the way we're supposed to live there and not because of the way the building is. They're collecting rent, okay. But how about fixing the items? I also have pictures as of 2014 of what it's been like and what it looks like now. What else can I? Just one, yes, please. You as councilman, you have not seen the building. Honesty is the best policy. If you were to see what it looks like, I think you would know what we're going through there. You have not been living like that, but you will see if one of you can go see.
Good morning, I'm
Good
Jesse.
morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
42 in general comment.
Okay,
First, I would ask for the president if he would please pay attention to our needs, just for common respect, please. I don't mean to be disrespectful or cause problems. I just really like some attention. I am a tenant at the Produce, so nobody's gonna pay attention. We're gonna do that. All right. So I'm a tenant at Produce. I've been there for 4 years, and I've done everything that they asked me to do. My living situation there, I'm a female, number one, I'm on the 3rd floor, and the majority is male, okay? I've been attacked twice, physically, by people in the building. I reported it to the manager twice. I made police reports, and nothing has been done. I should not have to live in fucking fear of my life. I have to pee in my trash can at night because I'm afraid to come out in the hallways because the cameras don't function. And they want to blame it on the tenants. That's bullshit. It's the owner's responsibility to make sure that those are fully functioning. Okay, we live with rats. There's rats on the fucking on the stove. There's I have roaches. I pay my rent every month. I'm on a fixed income, and you guys want to raise the fucking rent? Are you kidding me? And we have to live in this shithole. Honestly, you guys get to go home at night. We got to live there. Why don't you guys try 1 hour in our building and see if you like it? See if you would let your mother live there, your daughter live there, your sisters live there. Put yourself in our position. Try to be understanding. Have some compassion. Thank you for your not paying attention.
I'm here to speak
Good
on
morning.
agenda item 42 and a general comment.
Okay, good morning. You have 1 minute for each. Go ahead.
So I'm here. My name's General Dogon, and I'm here with other members from the Skid Row Civil and Human Rights Committee. And we're here today to support tenants in the Produce and asking that the building be held from taking out of REIT and that the building be re-inspected. And then 3, that finally they get some repairs done. Some of these tenants has been living too long in these conditions, right? This is racism, straight up. When you look at these hotels, how they just falling down like this. And at the same time, you look at the Skid Row community, right? You see degradation all through the whole community. Can't get trash cans, dirt all over the streets. It's just a way to bring people out. And this is the way that you do, folks, that you want to gentrify, you want to move out. You know, you criminalize them, you degrade them like this. And this is exactly what's going on. And the city is allowing to do it.
General
And with my general comment, 20 years I've been working as a housing organizer with LA Camp. And I can sit here and tell you as a witness, it ain't a hotel downtown. I can do roll call on them. The Cezos, the Rosalind, the Alexandra, it ain't one of them where poor black and brown folks live in where the owner or the developer haven't tried some illegal, dirty, backstabbing trick to move the people out, right? And we had to fight and come in and preserve housing. right? And it's the same dog trick that's going on with Leo, the owner of these new 17 buildings. They're all developers. They developing for one reason, to make money. And it's new booming downtown, with the new downtowners. And so we're here today to call this out. And we're here today to let you know that we ain't going away, right? And we demanding that those hotels be fixed. And we going to fight for a zero tolerance loss in housing in our community, right? And you can take your intern shelters and you know what you can do with them.
So it'll be 1 minute for 42 and 1 minute for general. Go ahead.
1 minute to be heard, right?
Yes, so 2 minutes total. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so I can wait to be heard. So if you guys want to listen, then you can start my timer. Because
So
that's by
your
law
your
what
time
it is,
starts
right?
now. So
No,
go
not
ahead. You have 1 minute.
to be ignored, it's a minute to be heard. So you have to actually listen. So I can wait. Because this 1 minute could change my life. So by law, I get a minute to be heard.
Okay, so you
So
can talk
the
about
people
this
that aren't
during
listening
general,
right now,
and at this point it is repetitive. So we do need to, the reason
so
why the
maybe
rules are
just
here.
pay
Can you hold this
attention.
time for a second? The reason why the rules are here is so that we can run public comment efficiently.
Right, for
so
the
I understand what
opportunity
you're
to be
saying,
heard.
but I'm going to start your clock now, and your
To be
40
heard,
seconds is going
right?
to continue. Go ahead.
no, I get a minute to be heard. And she's not listening. She's talking. All I get is a minute.
So
how dare
at
you
this
guys?
point, I've asked you respectfully to please start your public comment.
Right.
It's repetitive at this point, so I'm going to move you to general public comment, where you have 1 minute. Go ahead. You have 1
Okay,
minute.
fine. I am here on behalf of the produce. I lived there 3 years. The building has not changed at all. However, money has been thrown at it has not gone to the building whatsoever. It's gone to security being there. It's gone to making the floors really shiny. We haven't had toilet paper or soap in bathrooms the entire time I've been there. And literally the building is falling apart. And we actually have a chance for it to get a little bit better, and you guys want to take that away. People already ignore us, period. I mean, we actually have attention for a little bit, and you guys want to take that away. That's really, I don't want to say, but fucked up. Like everyone else said, we live there. You guys probably won't even step foot inside of there. And we're just asking for it to be done what was already said that was going to be done, which is the bare minimum. Like, come on.
Speaker, your time has expired. Next speaker. And before the next speaker comes up, if you have additional comments, if you run out of time, you can always provide additional comments in writing at lacouncil.com. And that is that you can find that URL at the very top of every council agenda. Or you can do a quick Google search and it should be the first result. Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
All items in general public comment.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
Okay. I'll speak to the public on all available items. Item 1 through 15 are said to be for the so-called nuisance abatement of the public's personal property, but it is really for the placing of liens on each of these properties by this corrupt city government so that sleazy Marquise Dawson and Kern Price can give abatement contracts to their buddies and receive kickbacks. I protest Kern Price and Marquise Dawson being currently out on bail and on trial for 12 counts of embezzlement and still sitting here daily voting on these items. In these motions, instead of assisting the public with their property in the face of devastating inflation, the incompetent clowns of the sleazy council are allowing criminally insane Dawson and criminal on trial Kern Price to pad their pockets via property liens. 17 is for a new $60 million mental institution. In my opinion, this motion should read that very first inmates in this facility will be every member of this criminally insane, corrupt, and incompetent sleazy council. Excuse me. If written properly, this motion and this facility can properly address the sleazy council. I'm sorry, $1 billion, oh my goodness, budget. $256 million fire, ongoing, never-ending, raging homeless, and endless criminally insane corruption, emergency after emergency after emergency. By admitting and properly treating the criminally insane mental illness of each one of these council clowns that have driven the city into the ground. Item 44 is for the declaration of the fire station of the emergency. I demand that this motion include investigation, funding language into what acting Mayor Marquise Dawson and the rest of his incompetent clown council and orgy partnering in Africa, Karen Bass, did while the city of LA burned to the ground with $256 million in damage. I demand this motion call for the immediate release of all communication records that Bass, Marquise, Dawson, and the city is illegally withholding. In my opinion, the corrupt and incompetent city council is in a state of emergency. General public comment.
You have 1 minute.
The LA Council is nothing more than an incompetent enterprise of organized crime. $1 billion budget emergency, homelessness epidemic emergency, $257 billion fire damage with 18,000 destroyed structures emergency. Councilman Englander indicted in prison for corruption, Garcetti's deputy mayor 12 years, Mark the 30-year pimp Ridley Thomas convicted and on appeal. Racist Asian John Lee indicted for ethics violations. Yerny Martinez, Gilbert Gadil, and Kevin Leon ousted for insane racism and incompetence. Jose Huizar, 12 years for corruption. Kern Price indicted, currently on trial. Sleazy Dawson, currently under investigation. Karen Bass, deputy mayor for public safety under FBI investigation for making bomb threats. LA Fire Department officials recently ousted for $800,000 in credit card fraud. Thank you.
Next speaker.
I brought my EWF family here, so I'm going to position.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
All right, there we go. All available items and public comments,
Okay,
please.
and it's been a hot minute, so I'm just going to remind everybody, the items that are open for public comment are items 1 through 4, items 6 through 17, and items 37 through 45. So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Go ahead.
Okay, start with good morning. My name is Dr. Critical Truth Bay. I'm a policy analyst for the 6th region. Start off with Agenda 39. Muscoctor and Hutt relative to funding services connection with CD15s in observer of Alzheimer's Awareness Month. Well, with that, you have Armenian Awareness Month, you have Asian American Awareness Month, and you have Jewish American or Jewish or Heritage Awareness Month. But what I want to present is also Haitian Heritage Month, right? So this t-shirt that I'm wearing, SOS Haiti, you have Rihanna, you have Eminem, you have Joe Deef, and some other rappers as well, Akon, Lil Wayne, that wants to support the initiative to Haiti. So Los Angeles County, Los Angeles City does not really have a fervor for Haiti, so I want to add to that for Los Angeles City body by May 16th to honor Haitian Heritage Month. This is our flag, Viva Haiti. So m'abdi kounya, pou moun ki pa pale Creole, pou moun ki pa pale Anglais, te fait ici. I was born and raised here, and there's not one iota of French.
Speaker,
there's
what
not
item
one
are you
iota of
speaking
Creole.
to?
Next agenda item. Thank you. I know that was a little tiring. 42, Housing Department resolution relative for removing the property on 676 South Central Avenue. This is in the Skid Row vicinity. When are we going to do something about the conditions in apartments and living conditions for our families in Skid Row? Karen Bass, where are you? What's happening? What's happening in District 14? Right? Constant complaints of Skid Row housing trusts, millions and millions of dollars that's being wasted by LASA. District 7, atrocious. District 4, unbelievable. District 14, you already know. So let's reconstruct, because Bill Saley had put an order, and had he not been U.S. Attorney, I'm sure LASA would have wasted 24 more billions of dollars in housing, $500,000 a unit, and yet people are still sleeping in their tents. President, Harris Dawson, what's happening in District 8, family? So let's do the right thing by our homeless dollars first and foremost. And last, yeah, we're gonna need to clean house. This body is the most corrupted body in the nation, and yet every day we still to ignore the needs of our people. Together we can, but not with this body. So that way, in 2026, there are going to be some new seats. And we thank you all for actually looking down on your papers, because I know you hear me. All right, let's get things some things. And thank you, Sister Hernandez, for doing the work
General
that you're
public
doing.
comment?
Power to the people.
Mr. President, that concludes public comment.
All right. We got a motion from our committee chairman person. Hello. We got the liens. We need a motion to adopt the LA DBS recommendations. I'll move. Seconded by Councilmember Hernandez. All right, let's open the roll on these items. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
15 ayes.
Our outside counsel, for which we painstakingly take votes, will not arrive here until about 11:15. So we have 5 minutes. I'll ask members if there are announcements, as we commonly have at the end of the meeting. All right, we'll go into the council will be in recess for 5 minutes.
The desk is clear, sir.
All right, announcements, members. Any announcements, Mr. McCosker?
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Rodriguez.
Thank you. Colleagues, I just wanted to give rise and bring to everyone's attention, I know I've discussed it with many of the colleagues today, the incredible malpractice that continues to be exposed by some of the coverage of LA East regarding LASA and how they have actually used some of our general fund dollars to pay out whistleblower complaints that wasn't coming to the council, that again, is taking our taxpayer dollars, particularly at a time when we are in such fiscal crisis. We can no longer commit to endorsing and continuing to fund this failure. So I just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention because we got to get off this merry-go-round from hell. The fact that there was an obstruction of even providing, some of the whistleblower accusations include obstruction of providing real, accurate data regarding the shortcomings of the performance with respect to Inside Safe. Those are hundreds of millions of dollars that continue to be expended of our limited and very precious taxpayer dollars. And as we have seen, zero recalibration of Inside Safe operations and the continued expenditures associated with it, I really hope that this council will start to reverse course in endorsing and continuing to sustain the funding associated with this work, because it's frankly, it's gross malpractice the way dollars are being spent with respect to homelessness. And I know some people are comfortable endorsing this failure repeatedly because of the benefit it serves their districts. But the reality is that we are in such fiscal crisis that we can't continue to do this. And it continues to get exposed with every succeeding investigative report, and it needs to end. Thank you.
Announcements, members? All right, seeing none, I'll ask everybody in the chambers to rise for adjourning motions. Any adjourning motions to my left? To my right? Seeing none, we are adjourned.